gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here from LimaLand Motorsports Park. It is the finale. It is the finale here of the 3 days in hell. A lot of money on the line, a lot of the best drivers in attendance here this evening for another wild night of racing action. Oh, baby, this is going to be a lot of fun, chat. This is going to be a ton of fun. We're going to get another great group of drivers out there on the racetrack right now for qualifying. Looking to see who can pick up that quick time here in qualifying. All these drivers jumping out onto the racetrack, laying down some quick lap times. See Logan Rumsey out there on the racetrack right now. There's Logan Rumsey looking fresh out there on the racetrack. Zach Jenkins out there as well in the 62 ride. See Chase Williams out there as well as all these drivers ready to rock and roll. James Starry, the 741 ride, looking for a good start here in this qualifying session as the Herbert Graphics. How's the speed? Cocky Floyd Consulting ride, looking for a good run right here. See Tanner Peak in attendance as well. The elbows up, number 913 ride, looking for a good run. Tyson Ulecki out there as well in the 74. Robbie Bachinen Jr. out there on the speedway as we get ready to rock and roll here for the season finale. The 3 days in hell tour as these drivers are ready to rock and roll. $2,000 was the purse here for the championship, so there's a lot of money on the line for championship payout, but there's also a ton of money on the line here this evening for not just the championship, but also for just this race in general. There's money for our race winner, our second, third place finishers, hard charger, hard luck. There's so many things that are on the line for drivers to try to earn themselves that extra bit of a payday here this evening as we'll get ready to set them loose for a little bit of practice here in just a few more moments. As practice is going to qualifying is going to come to a close, we're going to get ready for heat race action in just a few more moments. We see J.D. Brown out there on the racetrack. Desmond Busby getting done his session as well. Little beat up race car right there. Colton Herbert out on the racetrack is the 6-star ride, looking to have a fantastic run here this evening as well, showing a lot of speed in our first 2 races and looking to continue on that momentum here in race number 3. Kendall Tucker out on the speedway. Ethan Bowers out there as well. The 00 ride jumps up into the 29th position on the speed chart. The 127 is the Majulis Speed Shop. Number 127 ride out, Blake Majulis here this evening, looking for a big run. We'll see what he can lay down for a lap time as right now it is Evan C with the quick time. Talon Willis in position number 2. Blake Majulis gonna jump up into 3rd there on the time sheet as Logan Rumsey, Nathan Waddell round out our top 5 here in qualifying. Kendall Tucker gonna jump up into 6. A good run there for the other 00. Kendall Tucker out on the speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, though, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, even if you're rewatching the broadcast. Every single like, comment, share helps push the stream out to more and more people. It's more fans in the stands to cheer these drivers on as Dylan Hauser with a Hauser of a lap time. The 35 ride, the 3.5 machine, jumps up into position number 2 here on the time sheet. Unfortunately, just a little bit shy of FNC's lap time, and doesn't look like he's going to get any quicker there on lap number 2, but man, oh man, oh man, a quick lap time right there. Our second, third, and fourth place drivers all ran 11.79 second lap times. There's 3 drivers tied behind them with 11.80s, and then a couple 81s, 82s. This is just going to show you how tight the actual lap times are that these drivers can lay down, the consistency that they can put up here in this one. Is my boy Brycey Bear coming in, says hi Peace. What's up, Bryce? What's up, Brycey Bear? Austin Marshall says what's good, my man? What's good, Austin? Mr. Marshall coming in, showing the love as well, the like and the share. Sean's Detail coming in with that thumbs up. Bryce Dickinson with the thumbs up on the broadcast, coming in showing the love here in this one as we'll get ready for heat race number 1. Heat race number 1 about to get underway here in just a few more moments. The checkered flag has been displayed for qualifying, and here you go. Heat race number 1 gonna get loaded into the sim and ready to rock and roll. Our first heat race of the evening about to get underway. Once again, top 4 will transfer through here. I'm not sure how many. Looks like 4 heat races here this evening. So 4 heat races, top 4 will transfer through from each heat race, and then we will set everybody up for our consolation races coming up right after these heat races. Starting on the pole here in heat race number 1, it is the Team CFM Esports VLR Sweet Victory Apparel Majula Safe Speed Shop 33. It's Evan C. His outside in the 41 ride, that is Logan Rumsey, and down on the inside, row number 2. In the 27, that is the House of Speed Dirty South Speed Shop 27B of Brady Thompson. His outside in the HTF Sim Sports, the 82 ride, that is the Majula Safe Speed Shop ride of Desmond Busby. Starting in position number 5 on the speedway, it is the 14 ride of JD Brown. He's got Tyson Ulicki to his outside. Then we see the 88 machine. That is actually, it's actually the 741 of James Starry starting in 7th. Hunter Kahn to his outside. And then we see the 212 of Brielle Putnam. Clyde Dunn and Dylan Wilson rounding out the rear of the field. As we're going to get ready to rock and roll, these drivers ready to duke it out here from the beautiful LimaLand Motorsports Park. Evan C. quickly onto the loud pedal. See out in front with Logan Rumsey right there in tow. Brady Thompson there in third. Up the racetrack goes JD Brown. Brown goes up the racetrack, a little bit more contact. He's going to get up into the outside fence again, and unfortunately for JD Brown, goes from about the 5th position back to 11th on the speedway. More contact. Hunter Kahn and the 91 of Dylan Wilson come together. They both go for a loop-de-loop. No caution flag as of yet on the speedway. The 91 still rolling out there. Unfortunately, no caution flag. Good heads-up driving here by the rest of the field to make sure they avoided that 91 machine as Evan C. got up to him in a quick hurry. There is the caution flag that's finally going to fly here for Dylan Wilson. I do believe Wilson has already taken his ride down pit side, but we will take a look back and see this contact between the 48 and the 91. I'm not sure where this all gets started. I think just the 48 maybe a little unhappy getting ramped up right there. And then unfortunately the 88 looks like he makes a little bit of contact here with that 91 ride of Dylan Wilson. It's just going to shove Wilson up the racetrack over the nose of JD Brown into the 48 ride of Hunter Kong. And unfortunately, I think Hunter did not like the way he was ran right there. Slides it into corner number 3 and drives up into that left rear quarter panel of the 91 ride, seizing the throttle and helps him go around. So a tough break right there as the 48 and 91 come together. And then Dylan Wilson trying to get that caution flag to fly. Unfortunately, goes a couple laps down and takes his car off the speedway before the yellow flag was displayed. So we'll get them stacked up, wrapped up, and ready to go here once again for heat race number 1, our first restart of the evening. The 33 of Evan C. quickly onto the loud pedal. C out in front, looking to try to run away with heat race number 1 is Logan Rumsey, Brady Thompson, and Desmond Busby right there trying to hang on to the top 4. As they know, the top 4 transfer through into the A main feature event. We did see a little contact there between Brady Thompson and Logan Rumsey. Each and every one of these drivers, they want to move a little closer to the front of the field, knowing that they could get a better starting position in the A main feature event, but you want to make it there. You want to make sure you can run nice and clean, keep yourself out of trouble here, making no mistakes. The white flag has been displayed. James Starry on the outside of the top 4 looking in. Braylee Putnam, Tyson Ulicki, unfortunately, back there a little bit farther away, and they won't have an opportunity to punch their ticket through here in heat race number 1 as Evan C. picks up the win Logan Rumsey, Brady Thompson, Desmond Busby, all going to punch their tickets into the A main feature event. Everyone outside the top 4 will transfer through into the consolation races. As we'll get ready to rock and roll here with Heat race number 2. Heat race number 2 going to get loaded into the sim here at LimaLand Motorsports Park. And starting on the pole, it is the 3.5 ride. We're waiting for him to join the field. There you go. Here is our pole sitter, the 3.5. That is the House of Speed machine of Dylan Hauser. To his outside is supposed to be the 5 ride of Nathan Waddell, as Jesse Enterkin, the hunt the front number 1 ride, will start there in position number 3. To his outside, it is Tyler Ducharme there in position number 4 with Aiden Beerline down on the inside of row number 3. Kyle Hubbard there in 6 with Zach Jenkins in the Big Tim number 62 ride there in 7th. He's got Jackson Reitzler, his teammate in that House of Speed Big Tim number 22 ride there in position number 8. And we see William Feinling back here. He will bring up the rear of the field with Harvard DeLuca down to his inside in the CSS Sim Sports, that Carolina Sim Sports Majula Speed Shop 28 ride there on the inside of our final row on the speedway. Nathan Waddell, unfortunately, missing the start of this race, so a tough break right there for Nathan Waddell. Is supposed to start on the outside of the front row. Unfortunately for Waddell, he is now starting from least pit side or in a consolation race, as Roadrunner says, let's go. Beerline, cheering on Beerline out there on the speedways. Hauser and Tyler Ducharme are going to start here on the front row as Ducharme moves up a row. That puts him door to door with the 3.5 of Dylan Hauser. Hauser quickly onto the loud pedal, gets a great launch there down through corner 3 and 4 and out of corner 2. He gets another big run, opens up a little bit of a car length. There's a slide jump right there behind him. Ducharme slides up over the nose of the hunt to front number 1 of Jesse Enterkin. Is Enterkin trying to hang on to that 3rd position on the speedway? He's got Kyle Hubbard, Aiden Beerline, Jackson Reitzler right there behind him as they're trying to figure out a way to jump up and find a way around this 53 of Kyle Hubbard. Hubbard looking to go after Jesse Enterkin here for position number 3 as they almost go 3 wide down here into quarter number 1. Some tight racing right here as these drivers duking it out. Jesse Enterkin, Kyle Hubbard, Aiden Beerline, all right there. He can throw a blanket over top of them. Dylan Hauser, though, out in front, opening up a bit of a lead now as he's got himself in the front of the field, as Cody Williams says that Nathan's power went out. Oh, no! That is the worst, the absolute worst. That absolutely sucks, and we feel for poor Nathan Waddell. Power outage taking him out of contention here in this heat race. Hopefully the power gets back on and he has an opportunity to try to race his way in through our consolation races, but right now, Dylan Hauser, Tyler Ducharme, Jesse Enterkin, Kyle Hubbard, Aiden Beerline, our top 5 on the speedway. Top 4 transfer through as the white flag has been displayed. One more shot for Aiden Beerline here in this heat race, and Beerline is going to steal that final transfer spot away from Kyle Hubbard, as Dylan Hauser picks up heat race win number 2, Ducharme in 2nd, Enterkin there in 3rd, and Aiden Beerline in that 4th and final transfer spot. Heck of a run, heck of a drive right there for that number 13 machine as he was able to jump up and steal that final transfer spot away from the 53. As we'll get ready to rock and roll, heat race number 3 about to load into the sim here. Drivers getting lined up down pit side, and starting on the pole is the Majula Speed Shop VLR Johnson Speed Shots number 10M. That is Talon Willis. To his outside in the BHR 55 number 00 ride, that is Kendall Tucker. Then we see down on the inside, row number 2, the 33 machine. That is Jaden Anderson. Into his outside in the 46X is the Team CFM Esports Longhorn chassis. Majula Speed Shop 46X of Matthew Selby. Starting in position number 5 in the 11 ride is the NLRA machine. That is Matthew Watson to his outside. The 10 machine, that is Connor New in the Majula Say Speed Shop. Sweet Victory Apparel's machine there in the 6th position. Landon Newman back there in the 31. Tanner Peak will start down to his inside. Zach Rogers going to be starting in the 10th position with Kyle Brennan down on his inside to start this 3rd heat race of the evening. But out in front, it's all Talon Willis, Kendall Tucker, as they get stacked up door to door here down the back straightaway. The pace car will make that hard left-hand turn, and we will get ready to go back to green flag racing here at LimaLand Speedway. Quickly, Talon Willis on the loud pedal looking to try to open up a little bit of a lead here as Kendall Tucker has to try to hang on and hold off Jaden Anderson. Anderson in that 0.33, peeking down low, trying to find a line underneath of Kendall Tucker as Matthew Selby trying to hold on to that 4th position. The 4th and final transfer spot here on the speedway. Right now he's got Connor New, Landon Newman right there behind him as the 11 of Matthew Watt slides back a couple spots here in that Fusion setup shop. Number 11 ride, Tanner Peak right there behind him as the elbows up racing ride there in 8th. Zach Rogers getting a little tight there through corner number 3 and 4 as the Carolina Sim Sports ride goes for almost a bit of a ride. Kyle Brennan right there behind him in his Speed Ranch, number 39. Talon Willis, though, out in front, leading the way. Here's the Talon Willis Racing number 10 ride, leads the field. Kendall Tucker trying to follow right in his tire tracks. Jaden Anderson is sitting pretty, sitting here in that 3rd spot as they battle it out for position number 4. A slide job and a beautiful crossover. Right there is Matthew Selby. Will give some payback to the 10 ride through corner 3 and 4. New is going to try to pay him back here in 1 and 2 as these two duking it out for that 4th and final transfer spot into this A main feature event. A great run that time through 3 and 4 for Matthew Selby as he's able to hold on to that 4th spot. The white flag has been displayed though. A big run to the outside is contact in front of him. Talon Willis is turned around. Willis is around the 0.33 of Jaden Anderson. Also going around here as Kendall Tucker will pick up the heat race win. Oh my gosh. Kendall Tucker goes off the racetrack after hard contact with the infield tractor tires. Then the 10 and the 0.33 come together, and unfortunately, that continues right on into corner number 3. The 10M and the 0.33 will now both be heading to our consolation races. Wowzers, what a finish there in heat race number 3 as Nelson Johns coming in showing the love, says let's go. Tanner elbows up, baby. Tony Whipperman coming in showing the love. What's good, Tony? This is what's going on, big man. What's good, Tony? How are you, brother? Hey, yo. Skylar Pruitt in the house. How are you, Skylar? Skylar coming in showing the love as well with the hey, yo. As Carson Caps coming in, becoming a brand new follower over on the Facebook channel. Casson, welcome to the PeaceMaker family. Tony Whipperman with that heart reaction. Skylar Pruitt, Steve Golvada coming in with the love as well, dropping those thumbs up. Holly Collins coming in with that share on the broadcast as well as we get ready to rock and roll. We get ready to go back to green flag racing here for our 4th and final heat race of the evening. The Majula Safe Speed Shop Team CFM Esports 127 of Blake Majulis will start in that pole position. To his outside, the Sweet Victory Apparel Majula Safe Speed Shop 20 rider Colton Zimmer will start there in 2nd. Starting in position number 3, it is the 23 of Chase Barbara into his outside in the 11 ride. That is the Cocky Floyd Consulting Machine of Ethan Johnson. Starting in position number 5 in the House of Speed, number 6, that is Colton Herbert. He's got Robbie Bockanen Jr. to his outside. Chase Williamson, Ethan Bowers, Jason McManus, and Jaden Devan rounding out the field here in the 32. 4 more drivers will transfer through into the feature event. Everybody else will be transferring into our consolation race. Talk about a straight line from Jaden Anderson. I would say, yes, that's a straight line from Jaden, but I don't think that was intentional. I think the contact that Jaden and the 10 ride made after the contact, I think it must have bust something in the front of the 00 ride, and unfortunately sent Jaden, or the 033 ride, sent Jaden up into Talon there. I don't think that was intentional. Both drivers knew that they were in a transfer spot. It all stemmed from the Kendall Tucker move that unfortunately put him into those infield tractor tires that moved him up the speedway hard into the side of that 10 ride of Talon Willis. A tough break for both of those drivers, Jaden and Talon, both looking to work themselves into the show. Now head to their respective, consolation races. As here you go, heat race number 4. It is the 127 of Blake Majulis out in front. Trying to open up a little bit of a lead here. Has a bit of a comfort cushion here as Chase Barbara right there behind him, about the only driver still within distance. The kind of strike here as we do see the caution flag fly. That will mix things up here once again. That'll get every one of these drivers stacked right back up on top of each other, as it looks like Colton Herbert gonna have some issues here. The 6th ride, unfortunately, looks like some contact as he washes up the speedway into the side of Talon, or not Talon Willis, that's Ethan Johnson, goes over those infield tractor tires right there. Pretty heavy damage on the 6 machine. He gets stopped on the speedway, and unfortunately, as he gets stopped on the racetrack, that is going to bring the caution flag out. It's a tough break right there. We'll take another look at it here as he's going to send it in on the bottom side. Unfortunately, a little contact in front of him, then just kind of gets up in there into the side of the 11 ride, and then once you hit those infield tractor tires, they do a ton of damage, and unfortunately, looked like it was too much damage there for the 6th ride to continue as he's taking his car down pit side and behind pit wall, as we'll get ready to go back to battle here. Blake Majulis out in front. Chase Barbara, they're in position number 2. Robbie Bachinen Jr., they're in the 3rd spot with Ethan Johnson in that 4th and final transfer position. As we get ready to set them back loose, the base truck looking to head back down pit side as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Fine commentating, Daryl Waltrip, like always. Oh my gosh, come on now, come on now. Brycey Bear says, oh boy, my boy Skyler with the 693 days of being a follower over on the Facebook page, as we see some more contact there, as unfortunately the 20 rider Colton Zimmer goes from the penthouse to the outhouse here in heat race number 1. He takes his car down pit side, luckily enough off the speedway before getting stopped on the racetrack there to avoid a caution flag, as we see that white flag fly. Blake Majulis out in front, continue to lead the way. Barbara, they're in tow as door-to-door, Bachinen and Johnson battle for that 3rd position, as Blake Majulis will pick up that 4th and final heat race win of the evening. Barbara there in 2nd. Ethan Johnson and Robbie Bachinen Jr., our top 4, will transfer through into the A main feature event. Everybody else will be heading to our consolation races. Alrighty, as we're going to get ready here for our first consolation race, I do believe we will have 2. Top 4 from each will transfer through here in this B main, well, C main, whichever one you'd want to call it. Our first consolation race here of the evening, as drivers will get loaded into the sim and ready to rock and roll. Again, top 4 will transfer through. Everybody else will unfortunately be loading up their rides and joining the fans and the stands here for the rest of the evening. So with all the money on the line, the last opportunity to gain some points and to work yourself closer to that championship or into one of those paid areas, you gotta make sure that you're in the show here in this one. So you got some opportunities here, a few laps to try to get it done. As Skylar Pruitt says, how's life, man? Missed you. I missed you too, Skylar. I missed you too, brother. Hey, I see you out there winning and racing on the weekly basis, brother, and we love to see it. And listen, you focus up on that. You focus up on the real life racing, okay? I got the iRacing held down. I got this under control, my boy. I got this under control. You go take care of it on the real life racetrack, okay? And Skylar Pruitt coming in showing the big love. Susie Dickinson, Mama Bear coming in with that thumbs up on the broadcast. Cody Dwayne Heathcock with that like as well. As we get ready, our C-Main Consolation race about to get underway. James Starry, Matthew Watts, Braylee Putnam, Tanner Peak, Zach Rogers, Tyson Ulicki, Kyle Brennan, Clyde Dunn, Talon Willis, Jaden Anderson, J.D. Brown, and Hunter Kong, our top 12 here in our final chance for these drivers to punch their ticket into the A-Main feature event as we are back to green flag racing. James Sorry out in front, looking to hold down this top spot here throughout this consolation race. Is door to door back there behind him. The NLRA machine, the Fusion setup, shop 11 of Matthew Watts trying to hold on to position number 2 as the 212 of Braylee Putnam working down to his inside. Holding on to that fourth and final transfer spot, it is the 913 of Tanner Peak, as Peak there in position number 4, trying to open up a little bit of a gap here as Tyson Ulicki and Talon Willis now in tow. Talon Willis working himself up 4 spots early on in this consolation race. He's making quick work of the field here. We saw he had a very fast hot rod there in heat race number 3, and he's looking to try to work himself into the show these drivers what he has here in this feature event. He's got to gain a couple more spots before he can work himself in to that A-Main feature event. He's going to go for the slide job right there over the 7 ride. Tyson Ulicki is going to give him a little bit of a payback there as he crosses him over, slides him here in 3 and 4, hangs out that rear end very wide, which will open up the door for a good run for Talon Willis as they battle, beating and banging, more contact up into the fence. Goes the 74 and the 14 of J.D. Brown. They continue to battle back here now for the 6th position as Talon Willis there in 5th, knows that he needs to get up here, make some moves and try to take this 4th and final transfer spot away from the 913 of Tanner Peak. Peak gonna get slid right there. He's gonna try to cross over here on Talon Willis. The slide job coming back to the 10 ride as Talon Willis gonna cross him back over. A great battle here for that 4th and final spot as you see them battling right there in front of them. Matthew Watts, Braylee Putnam battling here for position number 2. That may allow the 10 and the 913 to close the gap on him here as they're trying to hunt down our race leader, James Starry, who's been absolutely shot out of a cannon, looking to continue to run away with this consolation race as he sees that white flag fly. So James Starry one more time around as Braylee Putnam there in 2nd. You see the 11 of Matthew Watts and Talon Willis, our top 4 on the speedway, nice and easy. Out of quarter number 4, it's the 741 of James Starry who picks up our consolation race win number 1 on the evening. Matthew Watts in 2nd, Braylee Putnam and Talon Willis will transfer through into the A-Main feature event. Unfortunately, everybody else will be heading to the consolation race. We will get a look right here at the official standings there of that C-Main action as our C-Main coming to an end. Unfortunately, J.D. Brown, the first driver on the outside looking in. Tanner Peak, Zach Rogers, Jaden Anderson, Tyson Ulicki, Hunter Kong, Kyle Brennan, and Clyde Dunn all on the outside of a transfer spot looking in. They will be joining the fans in the stands here for this feature event. Unfortunately, only our top 4 of James Starry, Matthew Watts, Braylee Putnam, and Talon Willis will advance into the show here this evening as we'll get ready for our final consolation race of the 3 days in hell as we'll get these drivers ready to rock and roll. Starting on the pole in the 53 ride, Kyle Hubbard starts there in that pole position. And that is no reference to his sexual indications with the Riding with Biden logo on the front of it. We can only imagine what riding on the pole means for Kyle Hubbard as Ethan Bowers there in position number 2. Zach Jenkins will start in that 3rd position. The 32 of Jaden Devian starts there in position number 4. Chase Williamson, Jackson Reitzler, William Feidling, Jason McManus, Colton Zimmer, Harvard DeLuca, Colton Herbert, Nathan Waddell back in attendance, and Dylan Wilson at the rear of the field. So here you go, a driver that was supposed to start on the outside of the front row in heat race number 1 in attendance here. We'll have to wait and see if Nathan Waddell can work himself up through the field and towards the front. There's a lot of hard chargers deep in this field. You see them all right here. That is Nathan Waddell, Colton Zimmer, Colton Herbert, all right there stacked together. Dylan Wilson in there, as well as Ethan Bowers looks for the race lead. It's a log jam here at the front of the field. 2, 3, 4 wide as all these drivers beating and banging, battling for this final top 4 transfer spots into the A main feature event. The 00 of Bowers is going to work himself to the front of the field as Jackson Reitzler right there in position number 2. Jaden DeVan there in position number 3, as here comes the number 51 of Chase Williams as well, right there into that 4th spot. Zach Jenkins, Jason McManus there in 5th and 6th as Nathan Waddell right there, gonna get a little bit of contact. Around goes Kyle Hubbard. Hubbard goes around, he goes from the penthouse to the outhouse, goes from hero to 0. Here in this consolation race, our pole sitter in the 53 hard contact as he goes around up into the outside fence. We knew it was a matter of time before we see a little bit of contact, a little too much contact as see the 51 sends it in there, gets a big piece of the 6 rod right there of Colton Herbert. Unfortunately for Colton, that jumped him off the racetrack. Hopefully not too much damage. The 53 down low, sends it in there, hop, skip, and jumping across the infield tractor tires there. Unfortunately gets a piece of the 6, a piece of the 5 right as they battle door to door down the front straightaway. Unfortunately 3 wide still, and the 53 just sends it in on the bottom side again, gets a piece of the infield tractor tire, and unfortunately goes for a ride here. Obviously a disappointing showing for that 53 ride. Start on the pole position early, slid back here as he goes over the bump, car straightens out, goes right up over the nose of Nathan Waddell. Unfortunately, nowhere to go for the 310 of William Feindling as William just had nowhere to go there, hanging on. Unfortunately, a tore up race car there because the 53 just sent it in there a little bit too far. As we go back to green flag racing, we see more contact as the number 39X of Jason McManus gonna go around, no caution flag on the speedway. Out in front, though, Ethan Bowers leads the way here. Bowers out in front as Jackson Reitzler there in position number 2. Jaden DeVan right there sliding up into that 2nd spot as a great battle here for that 2nd position. Chase Williamson right there within striking distance, trying to get that Herbert Graphics out speed ride into the show. He's currently in that 4th and final transfer spot, but he's on that hot seat. He knows there's a lot of fast drivers back there behind him trying to hunt him down. Zach Jenkins right there on his back bumper as here comes the 20 ride of Colton Zimmer as well. Zimmer right there in position number 6, knows he needs to get a move on here, knowing that he needs 2 more spots to work himself into the show. Goes for a bit of a slide job, a little bit of contact, 2, 3, 4 wide, and there goes the 20 ride. Colton Zimmer goes for a quick 360, gets that car pointed back in the right direction. Unfortunately, goes from a transfer spot now back into 9th as the white flag has been displayed. So for the final time here in our B main, the 00 Ethan Bowers will pick up that final consolation race win here in the 3 Days of Hell series. Jackson Reitzler, Jaden DeVan, and Zach Jenkins will all punch their tickets into the A main feature event. Unfortunately, everyone else will be heading to they'll unfortunately be heading to nowhere, as they'll be all heading to the pits here. They will be joining the fans in the stands for the final race here, our A main feature event. That is going to be a tough pill to swallow. There's a lot of great drivers, unfortunately, on the outside looking in here, as we'll take a look at those final standings. So Bowers, Reitzler, DeVan, and Jenkins will all punch their tickets into the show here. They'll all move forward and into the A main feature event. Dylan Wilson, Chase Williamson, Harvard DeLuca, Colton Zimmer, Colton Herbert, Nathan Waddell, William Feindling, the 53, and Jason McManus will all unfortunately be heading home early here this evening, or joining the fans in the stand to cheer these drivers on for the rest of the night as they will load up their rides and unfortunately go back behind pit wall here for this A main feature event. As we'll get ready to rock and roll, we'll get ready to set these drivers loose for our A main feature event here in just a few more moments. As James Schneider says, CSS is starting to show up more and more. Laugh out loud. Yes, Sirski, yes, they are. As Nelson John says, determination. Them boys brought a 55-gallon barrel full. That they did, for certain. As, yeah, Skylar, we miss you as well. My boy coming in, showing the big love over there on Facebook. Mr. John's coming in with that thumbs up. James coming in with that heart reaction on the broadcast as well. As a quick warm-up session, these drivers will get ready to rock and roll. They'll get ready to go to battle. I am also going to get a quick drink into me and get ready for our A main feature event here. So we'll get ready to set these drivers loose in just a few more moments. We're actually going to have the camera turned off for the A main feature event here. We'll get ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to set these drivers loose in just a couple more moments. Practice will not be 10 minutes, so don't go anywhere as you don't want to miss out on the racing action here this evening for our final feature event of the series. The 3 days in hell coming to a close here tonight. $2,000 purse on the line for the points championship. A lot of money on the line here for race winnings on the evening as well. So all these drivers will be giving it their best shot to try to put themselves into victory lane and maybe being able to pick up the championship here this evening. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. As we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose, we're going to get ready to go green flag racing for our A main feature event here in the series finale of the 3 Days in Hell. My boy Dylan Murray coming in showing the love with the like and the share. Connor New coming in with that thumbs up, as well as Denisha Selby coming in showing that love with the like on the stream. As we get these drivers loaded in, each and every one of them looking for the win here. 24 cars will go to battle here in our final race of the series. Starting on the pole in the 33, it's Evan C. He'll be starting on the front row here alongside the 3.5 of Dylan Hauser. Starting in position number 3, the 41, that's Logan Rumsey into his outside, and the Julius A Speed Shop, that is the 127 of Blake Majulis. Starting in the 5th spot, that is the 10 rider Connor New. He's got Tyler Ducharme to his outside. Brady Thompson, Chase Barbara, door to door with Jesse Enterkin, and Matthew Selby rounding out our top 10. Johnson, Busby, Beerline, Newman, Buchanan Jr., Starry, Bowers, Watts, Reitzler, and Putnam rounding out our top 20 as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing at contact already. A little bit of door-to-door battling here between Hauser and Evan C. Evan C able to lead lap number 1 as the 3.5 ride works down to his inside. Evan C gonna hold them off here as C and Hauser door-to-door here at the front of the field. Logan Rumsey right there in position number 2. Blake Majulis, they're in position number 4 and looking for more as they're 3 wide back there behind them, but the caution flag will be displayed as the 00 rider Ethan Bowers fortunately parked down low on the bottom side of the racetrack there out at quarter number 4. And that will be our first yellow flag of this A main feature event. You see that right front already tore apart here for that 00 ride. As not sure if he gets into somebody or if he just gets up into the wall. Looks like they kind of get stacked up in front of him. Unfortunately, he gets the worst end of that deal as he gets into the back end of Robbie Buchanan Jr. and unfortunately goes up hard into the outside fence where that just busts that entire right front all to pieces. You can see that wheel just hanging there, dangling. Unfortunately, cannot get this car turned very easily. We'll have to take it down pit side. Just can't get it turned down pit road quick enough to see that tire still just hanging on for dear life, and has to get stopped on the speedway to take it down pit road, and that will bring the caution flag out. So we'll get them stacked back up, racked back up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here as unfortunate break there for the 00 ride as we'll go back to battle. Evan C with the lap pedal hammered down here once again at LimaLand Motorsports Park. Evan C out in front with Dylan Hauser right there in position number 2. Here comes the 41 of Logan Rumsey and Blake Majulis now taking a look down to the inside of that 41 machine. The 10 rider Connor New, how do you do right there as well up inside the top 5 as he continues to battle door to door here with Tyler Ducharme as Ducharme. They're in that 6th position, gonna make the pass though on the 10 ride of Connor New. Chase Barbara right there as we do see the caution flag coming back out here in this one. So the caution flag gonna fly here once again as it looks like Desmond Busby unfortunately gonna get tied up here, and unfortunately that will bring the caution flag back. Yeah, we'll take a look here. Busby sends it in down low. Sure what may happen here is just down into quarter number 3. Looks like he's just gonna get tagged there by that 741 ride of Starry. Unfortunately, that just spins the 82 around as just gets underneath of him, jacks that rear end up, and unfortunately for Busby, nothing he can do except for hang on. Right there's the contact. Trying to counter steer, trying to get this thing pointed back in the right direction. This is a scary sight when you sideways driver side door pointing right at incoming traffic there. Unfortunately, the 11 ride with some pretty good damage as well as he got a good piece of that 82 ride trying to avoid the contact, trying to keep himself out of trouble. Unfortunately, finds a little bit of contact, a little bit of damage, but doesn't look like too much He's, you know, not going to continue on with this race. We do see Starry going to get that EOL. He will be starting at the back of the pack here with the 82 of Desmond Busby. So both drivers will be at the rear of the field here for this restart as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. As you take a look at that 11 ride, the NLRA machine still in good running condition back in the 16th spot. He's going to try to keep himself out of trouble here for the rest of the race. You don't want too much damage. You want to make sure you keep your car in one piece here for late in this race if you want to have an opportunity at picking up a good finish or possibly a checkered flag here on the evening. Dylan Murray says, these boys getting after it, son. Lap 1, we got some tight side road, mans. Yes, sir. There is some very tight racing. You see some more right here on the restart as Evan C. quickly slides up in front of the 35 ride. Dylan Hauser, though, going to slide back up in front of him through 1 and 2. Hauser to the point here for a moment, but here goes the 33 working back down low. So Evan C. back to the point of the field here as, unfortunately, Dylan Hauser is going to give up another spot or two here as Blake Majulitz going to work himself up into that second spot. Hauser looking to try to battle back strong as here is another caution flag that is going to be displayed. So another yellow flag on the racetrack as it looks like Tyler Ducharme going to run into some issues here in his ride as we'll take a look at the 25 and fortunately looks like things just get tight. Down the back straightaway into corner number 3, gets in there, almost gets a piece of the 41, has to kind of check up, and as he does, it kind of just checks himself up and right onto the lap here. I do believe that is Chase Barber that he ends up sitting on top of here. Let's play that a little bit far forward. A little far there is the contact right there. That really doesn't have anything to do with it, but you see the 25. He comes in, he almost gets a piece of the 41 right there, so he's going to kick the rear end out. He's going to get out of the throttle to avoid the contact, and as he does, he just washes right up and into the nose here of the 23 right of Chase Barber. Barber really nowhere to go, gets some pretty good damage there. So doesn't Matthew Selby, as Selby's going to go around with that spin. As he gets tagged right there, goes for a loop-de-loop himself, a hard hit for the 31 ride. I believe that is Robbie Bachman Jr. goes in there, gets a big piece of more contact down low as Kendall Tucker collected it, and Putnam in there as well. You see the 46 hard into the infield lighting system there, the base of that pole, as everyone else trying to get checked up and avoiding more contact there, as that ended up being a lot bigger than what it looked. As we go back to green flag racing quickly here at LimaLand Speedway. Not a whole lot of time to break things down and look at replays as we are right back to green flag racing here as FNC with another great launch, another good restart here as he's opened up a little bit of a gap as Dylan Hauser back into position number 2. Blake Majulis there in 3rd as Logan Rumsey in position number 4, and looking for more here as Connor New continues the battle here for that 5th position on the speedway. He's got the 27 Pia Brady Thompson down to his inside as Thompson looking to try to work himself up inside the top 5. Here comes Aiden Pierline in the 13 ride, and the 10 machine of Talon Willis has now worked himself up into the 8th position. Talon Willis is now up, I believe, up 15 spots on the speedway here. So 15 positions up for Talon Willis as we do see the caution flag come back out here once again as cautions breeding cautions, and fortunately Robbie Bachman nowhere to go here, I think, in this one as I feel a few drivers get collected. Just down low, looks like things get tight. You see the 00 Kendall Tucker getting into that one as well. We also saw the 11 hard in there. Another tough break there for Matthew Watts as Watts and Bowers door to door here, and looks like they make a little contact. I think Bowers tried to come down the speedway because he sees somebody get into the wall here. Yeah, he sees some hard contact right here in front of him. I do believe that is the 31 ride, possibly of Landon Newman, right there in front of him as he's getting jacked up over the nose here of Jesse Enterkin. They're going to get up into the wall. Bowers sees this happening. He's trying to get down and out of the way. Unfortunately, the 11 ride, Matthew Watts, was already down there as they make contact. They both slide down the racetrack here into corner number 3. The 00 gets in there with a whole head of steam. Unfortunately, drives right underneath of the 11 machine, spins him around. Here comes Robbie Bachman Jr., the 22 ride of Reitzler. Unfortunately, nowhere to go for Jackson Reitzler there as well. Gets a little bit of damage, but Fortunately, a few more drivers getting tore up here in this one as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Evan C. out in front, continuing to lead the way. Dylan Hauser there in second. Blake Majulis, Logan Rumsey, Connor New, our top 5 on the speedways. The green flag back out into the air. A great restart is door to door down across the line here. Evan C. into an infield tractor tire. That opens up the door for Dylan Hauser. Hauser jumps up into the lead, but here comes Logan Rumsey. Rumsey was looking to try to maybe pull the trigger on the slide jump as they battle door to door. Now he gets tight through 1 and 2. That opens up the door for Evan C. to get back up into that second position and go to work once again on the back bumper here of Dylan Hauser. Hauser's a tough cookie to beat here, and as he's up into the race lead, it's going to be tough for Evan C. to try to find a run to get around that 3.5 ride. As Logan Rumsey hangs on to that 3rd spot, we see Connor New now up into position number 4 and looking for more, and look out as here comes Talon Willis. Talon Willis right here as well. He's worked himself up and into this fight as Talon Willis looking very, very strong here. Up inside the top 5 here for the number 10 machine. He may not be done yet. He has been on a hot pace here as we'll get this stupid overlay to hopefully work again here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Work for us. Work for us. Yeah, unfortunately, another caution flag going to fly here in this one as we were seeing some great racing there at the front of the field. Looks like Zach Jenkins in the 62 ride getting pinched up into the outside fence there from the 32. Little contact there with Kenton Tucker, and then send it in down low. Gets a piece of that 32 ride. They get tied together up into the outside fence. Goes Zach Jenkins, and that's what's going to bring out our caution flag. Some dampers flaring a little deeper in the field as everybody trying to get everything they can, trying to pick up as many positions, as many points as possible here in this final feature event. And fortunately, cooler heads will prevail here on the speedway as Evan C. and Dylan Hauser 1 and 2 on the speedway, ready to go back to battle as Hauser with a great restart quickly gets the jump that he needed there over that 33. Is contact! Evan C. up into the outside fence. The 41 tied up as well. Aiden Pierline with some damage. The 33 slow on the speedway, and they are absolutely logjam. Caution flag on the speedway as, my gosh, things broke down in a quick hurry here on this restart as things were getting out of control in a hot hurry right there. Wowzers, that was a wild turn of events here as things got out of control in a quick hurry for these drivers. Let's see if we can take a look back here as there is a lot of mess to deal with here on this restart as, whew, it's gonna be a tough one to break down. Looked like Logan Rumsey unfortunately gets in and gets a piece of one of those infield tractor tires, and as he does, it just tightens him up. He watches up the racetrack, gets a piece of Hauser and the 33 ride. As take a look here at the restart, he sends it in down low right here. Hits one of those infield tractor tires, then gets another one right there. Launches that car airborne there. The front 2 tires up off the ground. Unfortunately, watches up into the side of Dylan Hauser, up into the 33 of Evan C. That gets Hauser very bent out of shape. Also gets the 33 of Evan C. hard up into the outside wall. Heavy damage for both those drivers. And then Hauser gets bounced around here a little bit, able to keep that car for the most part, though, out of trouble and pointed in the right direction as more contact, more beating and banging happened back here behind him as everybody trying to work themselves through all the carnage. See Jesse Edgerton getting some damage there. The 46 of Selby, the 31 of Newman, the 00 ride of Bowers in there, the 23 of Barbara also getting a piece of that one. So a lot of drivers getting tore up right there. Luckily enough, drivers able to get quickly repaired and back out onto the speedway. We are back. The green flag racing is out in front. Dylan Hauser leads the way here. Hauser out in front as he's showing these drivers again how to get it done here in this one as Dylan Hauser leads this field here under the green flag condition. For some reason, this overlay just does not like to cooperate for some time. As see if we get that fixed back up. We'll have to run with that that overlay right there. As The other one, for some reason, does not like to work all the time, as out in front, Dylan Hauser continues to lead the way as here comes that 10 rider, Talon Willis. A pair of 10s up inside the top 3 now as Connor New there in second, Talon Willis there in third. Willis trying to work the inside lane here, gonna run them where they're not, and he's trying to get that inside lane working as he is right there in the contention for this race win. Talon Willis worked himself into the show here, I do believe, with the final transfer spot on the evening, the final spot here to start the night, and Willis has now found himself up 20 positions and into position number 3 on the speedway. So this driver has been on a hard charge. See a big slide job right there into Connor New as here comes Dylan Hauser. Gonna pay him one back in 3 and 4 as Hauser and Connor New duke it out here for the race win at LimaLand Motorsports Park. The 127 of Blake Majulis right there in that battle. And here comes Aiden Beerline. Beerline right there in contention as well, up inside the top 5 as our top 5 have opened up a little bit of a gap now between themselves and our 6th place driver, the 11 of Ethan Johnson. Jace Barbara back there in 7th, Robbie Balkin Jr. there in 8th, Desmond Busby and Brady Thompson. Our top 10 is right there behind him. We see Jesse Entrican, James Starry there in 11th and 12th. We see Matthew Selby, Landon Newman, Ray Lee Putnam, Logan Rumsey, Evan C. back there in 17th. Matthew Watts, Ethan Bowers, Jackson Reitzler, Jaden Devan, Kendall Tucker, Zach Jenkins, Tyler Ducharme, our top 24 on the speedway as Connor New, how do you do, out in front leading the way here as he's got Blake Majulis and Dylan Hauser right there behind him. Great racing action here as we roll just over halfway in and halfway to go here in this feature event. We're going to jump into a very quick PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Let me just get this back up here as we're going to get ready to go to our PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. Alrighty, as the Crank It Up caution flag will be displayed here. Caution coming out here, our PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up yellow flag will fly, so impeccable timing. Once again, the curse of the Crank It Up continues here on PeaceMaker Gaming as we'll take a look back and see what happened here to bring this yellow flag back out once again. There's a little bit more contact. Looks like Landon Newman possibly getting tied together here with Matthew Selby as battling here a little deeper in the field just outside the top 15 here for the 46 as looks like they're going to get up into the outside fence. There heavy contact for the 31 ride as he goes airborne and upside down here. Oh, tough break there for Newman as looked like the 46 just gets into the outside fence here at the flag stand, and as he does, see the 31 just follows him right on through the 22 with Jackson Reitzler. Fortunately, not enough time to react. Gets into the back bumper, helps him get in there even farther as both drivers extensive damage here for the 46X of Mr. Selby and the 31 of Newman there as they both get heavy damage, and upside down goes the 31 as they'll take their cars down inside. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing and we'll get ready to crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming on this restart. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here for the final time in the 3 days of hell. flag once again back out onto the speedway there as we saw Aiden Beerline unfortunately going around here in that 13 machine. Jesse Enter getting some pretty good damage there as well, as we will play this back and take a look at what transpired here. As unfortunately looked like Aiden and the 127 of Blake Majulis were battling up here, up inside the top 5, and unfortunately some contact there gets the 127 sideways. They get tied together, and unfortunately just chain reaction. Everybody on the loud pedal there at a corner number 4, and unfortunately the 13 ride will go around the 1 ride of Jesse Enterkin, also getting turned around. As good damage there for Dylan Hauser, good damage for the 33 Evan C. Starry, also getting some pretty heavy contact there, as well as a bunch of drivers getting tied together. Some crazy racing action here in this one as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. That'll be the end of our crank it up here, as we'll cancel the crank it up and get ready to go back to green flag racing. Alrighty, door to door, out of corner number 4, we are back to green flag racing here at LimaLand Motorsports Park. Connor New out in front. He's got Ethan Johnson right there behind him. Dylan Hauser trying to hang on to 3rd as the number 23. And Chase Barbara trying to jump up inside the top 3 here himself. Brady Thompson there in 5th as Blake Majulis back in the 6th position. He's got a couple drivers turned around back there behind him as we see the caution flag fly once again, as it looks like the 32 of Jaden Devan unfortunately going to go around. We also saw the 82 of Desmond Busby turned around right there as well. Keep an eye on this 32 ride. The white car kind of stuck in the middle right there. Unfortunately gets into the corner. Looks like Talon Willis trying to get checked up. Unfortunately could not get checked up quick enough. Gets a little piece of that 32. Helps him go around. A quick caution flag there for the 32 riders. We'll also take a look back and see what happened here. For the 82 of Desmond Busby, and Busby worked himself back up inside the top 10. He's got, I believe that's Robbie Bachman Jr. right there to his inside. Unfortunately, they just come out at corner number 2. They run out of room, and a little bit of 3 wide right there. I don't think either of those drivers realized it, and around goes the 82 right off the front nose of the 31 of Bachman Jr., and that's a tough break for Desmond Busby. He had battled back and worked himself back up inside the top 10. Now finds himself deep in the field as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Out in front, Connor New, Ethan Johnson. 1 and 2 at the front of the speedway. And we see the 35 ride of Dylan Hauser, Chase Barbara there in the 2nd row. Blake Majulis, Brady Thompson there in row number 3. James Sari, Logan Rumsey back in row number 4. Row number 5 has Jackson Reitzler and Matthew Watson. Then we see Ethan Bowers, Matthew Selby there in 11th and 12th. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Connor New, how do you do? We'll see that green flag fly here once again from LimaLand Motorsports Park's flagman here at this one, as he quickly jumps back onto the loud pedal as that 10 ride put it in the right direction. But here comes Ethan Johnson working down to his inside. Johnson working down low as Chase Barbara trying to hunt them both down, now working himself around that number 35 of Dylan Hauser. Hauser back now to position number 4, as now back to 5th as Blake Majulis jumps up into that 4th position but gets a piece of the wall that allows Brady Thompson and Dylan Hauser to both get back around the 127. James Sari, Logan Rumsey, Matthew Watts, and Ethan Bowers are top 10 on the speedway as Dallin Willis back there in 11th. Gonna get tight off the racetrack. Things are gonna get very tight there out of corner number 2. Somehow or another, they all keep themselves pointed in the right direction. Great lead bottom right there as Desmond Busby trying to work himself back up towards the front of the field. Aiden Beerline, Jaden DeVan, Robbie Bachman Jr., Jesse Enterkin are top 19 here on the speedways. Evan C. Henstoken, his 33 ride down pit side. A heartbreak there for Evan C. as he came in with the points lead here on the evening, looking for that championship, maybe seeing his championship hopes slide away from him here in this one. As Connor New, though, out in front leading the way. Ethan Johnson there in second as Chase Barbara up into third here. Blake Majulis and Dylan Hauser continuing to battle here for position number 4 on the speedway as we see a late race caution flag. So a late yellow gonna be displayed here as the 27 ride. Fortunately, Brady Thompson, looks like Thompson is gonna go around. He slides up and into the 35 ride there of Dylan Hauser. Makes pretty good contact there with Hauser. A little bit of contact as well for the 127 of Blake Majulis as well here, as Brady's going to send it in down low on the bottom side, hoping for a bit of a gap. Unfortunately, does not get the opening that he needed. Drives right into the side there of the 35 machine and then up into the 27, the 127 of Blake Majulis. So you can see that right front damage, the front end damage here for the 35 ride. Gets up into the outside fence. Starry, Rumsey, Bowers, everyone trying to avoid that 27 ride as he gets stopped up here on the outside fence. And luckily enough, everyone able to do a great job to avoid him as you see that right front tire blow off that race car and roll down the racetrack and stick that thing down pit side. As we go back to green flag racing, Connor New out in front, another good restart, but Ethan Johnson right there putting his nose down to the inside. They go door to door, and on corner number 2, it's a drag race. Back down the back straightaway as Johnson looking to take this race lead away. He's going to get it there by half a car length across the start-finish line. The slide job, though, in the crossover here at a 1 and 2, and a little bit of payback here at 3 and 4 as Johnson's going to slide up in front of the 10 ride. You see Blake Majulis throwing a big slider back there in position number 4 as well. As here comes James Sorry trying to work himself inside the top 5 as Dylan Hauser right there in front of him. Hauser gets a little piece of the outside fence right there. That's going to take things almost 3 wide here as here comes that 41 of Logan Rumsey. Rumsey knows that he is in contention here and possibly within striking distance of picking up this championship here if he can get in front of that 35 of Dylan Hauser. Hauser trying to hang on, though, trying to maybe pick up this championship. All he's got to do is really finish in front of majority of these drivers, but luckily enough, he had a pretty decent gap between himself and, second, third, fourth place on the speedway, so not a whole lot of cars he has to beat here to maybe pick up that championship. And with the 33 of Evan C. already out of contention, that really opens up the door there for Hauser to jump into the top spot here in the championship. As Connor New and Ethan Johnson battle here for the race win here, our final race of the 3 Days in Hell Tour. We see the white flag fly one more time around here for Connor New. How do you do as he leads us down the back straightaway for the final time here in this one. One big last shot for Ethan Johnson, but he can't get there as Connor New is going to pick up the checkered flag here at LimaLand Motorsports Park. As Connor New gets it done, parks it in victory lane. Ethan Johnson there in second, and Chase Barbara gonna come home in position number 3. Blake Majulis and Dylan Hauser are top 5 here on the evening, but it's all Connor New as he picks up the win and parks himself up in victory lane. What a run and what a drive there for the 10 machine as he worked himself up 6 positions from the start. We saw the 11 right there. Ethan Johnson started back in the 12th position, finishes there in second. We saw Starry and Ethan Bowers also up quite a bit of positions. The 32 of Jaden Devan also up quite a few spots there. I do believe Devan is our hard charger on the evening, up 12 positions for the 32 ride, but end of the day, as the dust settles, it's all Connor New at the front of the field as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the broadcast booth here for some post-race interviews. Wowzers, what a run and what a race right there for all these drivers. They put on one heck of a show here for us on the evening. A lot of caution flags, a lot of beating and banging. Definitely a lot more caution flags than the first 2 races of the series, but nonetheless, still an absolutely amazing show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys enjoyed that racing action, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the broadcast booth for some post-race interviews. Alrighty, let's see if we can get them in here. Let me make sure we get them the Discord link here. There we go. There we go. Copy that. And doer. There we go. We'll give all those guys the Discord. Try to get these guys up and in here for their post-race interviews. We'll get ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to pull them up into the booth here and ready to see what these drivers got to see after a wild evening of racing action. A lot of rubbing and scrubbing, a lot of beating and battling out there on the speedway. And man, oh man, oh man, that was a wild finish, a crazy end to a race, a wild night of action here from LimaLand Motorsport Park as these drivers really were elbows up driving out there on the speedway, man. They were not letting down. They were not giving up as Caden Presnell coming in, becoming a brand new follower here on the PeaceMaker family, coming in, dropping that follow over there on Facebook. Chris Muse coming in with that like on the stream as well, coming in, showing the big love. As Denisha Selby says, congratulations to Connor New. Jeb Barton says, let's go. Jaden finished the last 15 laps strong. Man, there was a lot of drivers. I'm glad to see that Crank It Up cautions aren't limited to Outcast Racing. Yeah, no, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, CJ. We're cursed on every front when it comes to the Crank It Up sessions. Unfortunately, we're cursed on those ones. It seems every time we try to pull one out, those guys all end up, unfortunately, causing it. I'm not sure if this is Connor New or if this is Chase Barbara. Which one is this? I'm not sure who this is. Okay, Chase just joined. Okay, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Connor New, up here into the broadcast booth as he's down in victory lane. Hey, Connor, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Connor, man, what a run, what a drive as you parked that 10 right up here in victory lane. Did you think you had the car to get it done here this evening when that green flag dropped and you saw all the competition that was surrounding you here, the amount of amazing other talented drivers? I know you've ran with a lot of them for quite a while now. You've beaten, banged with them before, but knowing how much is on the line here for some of these guys like Evan C. and Blake Majula, Dylan Hauser, Logan Rumsey, did you think you were going to be able to find a way to get around them and put yourself up here in victory lane?
No, definitely not. We turned 0 laps for this race today. It's the only one we haven't tested for of these of this series. And we was just riding there trying to keep starting on the outside. And we finally got to second there after they wrecked. And I was just riding behind Hauser, was just gonna let him do his thing, and because he had spoiler damage, and I was like, when it gets slick, he'll be worse, and we can pass him. And surprisingly, we were still faster early on, and so we got to the lead there and was just riding and hung on. We were pretty good.
Absolutely, definitely good there at the end as he had to battle it out and duke out with the 11 running Ethan Johnson there late in the race. Take us back through some of those battles. You guys were throwing some slide jumps, some crossovers, going door to door with each other here late in this race. Were you getting a little bit nervous there with a couple of those late race restarts, having the 11 ride right there and showing that he had some speed here to maybe knock you out of this top spot?
Yeah, he kept sliding me in 3 and 4, and that cut down was really good. And one time he slid to the middle there, and I messed up, and so we had to slide him again in 1 and 2, which I think that's what won us the race. We were able to slide in 1 and 2 every time because that slider to the middle was pretty good there, and then we could obviously cross him over in 3 and 4. So yeah, I think we just played our cards right there, and we had a good car.
Absolutely. Definitely had a good car. A great race here for you as you park the 10 machine up here in victory lane. The final race of the 3 Days in Hell series here as they were supposed to be ran. Last week, obviously, we had iRacing failure there on the Thursday and then a lot of drivers with real life racing throughout the weekend. So we come back here on the Monday and we get to see an absolutely amazing show. And it's all led here at the end of the night by that 10 machine of Connor New. As Connor, you park yourself up here in victory lane. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
I gotta thank everybody at my Juicy Speed Shop. This thing was awesome tonight. Crazy Kid Graphics, Speed Victory Apparel, Team CFM Esports, Chris Ferguson, Bill Steen Shocks, VLR. just everybody that helps out on this thing and helps us go fast. And then Coton for putting this on, Chris for sponsoring it, and you guys for broadcasting.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Connor, congratulations on the win here this evening. Parking that 10 right up in victory lane. Keeping all these fast cats back there behind you. Definitely a bit of a momentum builder and definitely a little bit of chip on your shoulders. You're going to be able to use this one as a bit of bragging rights for quite a while as you're able to get it done over the likes of drivers that have been around for a long, long time and have won some huge money races, and you're able to pick one up here this evening.
Sir, thank you.
Absolutely, Connor. Enjoy the victory. Enjoy the win here this evening. And don't party too hard down there in victory lane. And hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth very soon.
Sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Connor New as he picks up the win and parks that number 10 ride up in victory lane here this evening. As Connor New gets it done, we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the 11 machine of Ethan Johnson. As Johnson coming home here in position number 2, we'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Yo, Dude Guy, how are ya? Dude Guy coming and showing the love with that like on the stream as well. We also have my boy 007 Chris coming in showing the love with the sub, the Amazon Prime sub over there on the Twitch stream, coming in with that resubscription. I appreciate you, bruv, coming in showing the big love over there on the Purple site as well, coming in and showing the love over there on Facebook. As we'll get ready to go back to we'll get ready to pull in the 11 rider Ethan Johnson. As Johnson waiting patiently here, we'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Ethan, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Ethan, man, a great run and a great drive for you here this evening as you parked that 11 right up on the podium. One spot shy of where I know you'd really like to be, but man, take us through this race. You had to work yourself around a lot of very tough competition, a lot of fast cats, and there at the end, the battle between you and Connor New to duke it out here for the race win on the evening. Take us back through this race, and how do you feel to be up here in the second spot?
Yeah, it feels good. It's a lot of people wrecked out, and that's kind of what I was expecting going into this race. I think I started around 12th or so, just trying to keep the car clean and raced my way through the field, dodge all the wrecks, and we got up to second after, I don't know, it was a big pile up. We got up to second, and I knew I had to pressure Connor in 3 and 4. I slid him one lap, he messed up, so I knew I had to keep pressuring him, but the cut down in 3 and 4 was just too good, so we couldn't get there.
Absolutely, just a little bit shy of the checkered flag here this evening, but you come home in position number 2, and you get the likes of Chase Barber, Blake Majulis, Dylan Hauser, Evan C, and so many of these other amazing drivers that we've seen around the block here for a long time. They've won a lot of huge money races. They've won a lot of huge series, and be able to come in here and keep all of them except for Connor New back there behind just you and Connor New, more or less the young guns, some of the young guns here in the field this evening, and showing them how to get it done in this one.
Yeah, Connor was really good. Knew he'd be good there. Normally gets up around the wall, so kind of expected him to be good. That's where he's really dominant, and that's where he really beats most of us on this game, is up on the wall. So knew he'd be good here. Just need to be a little bit better next time.
Absolutely, but you come home with a solid second place finish, a great run, and a great performance here. Ethan, who would you like to thank for such a solid performance here from LimaLand Speedway?
I got to thank Jordan Casey. He does a lot for me. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have probably even ran this race. Chase Barber, he helps me out a lot with anything. I got a question, he answers it. But I got to thank him, Jordan Casey, everybody over at 30 South, JC, Chris Hill, and everybody else who helps me.
Absolutely, brother. Well, a great run and a great drive here for it. We hope to see you back up here in the PeaceMaker Gaming broadcast booth here in the near future. As I'm sure we'll see in a few of these new leagues that are getting started up, and hopefully we'll see you, up here in victory lane one of these nights and enjoying some victories yourself after coming home with a solid second place run here this evening.
Yep. Hopefully we'll be back up here next race.
Ethan, enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations on the amazing run here tonight.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Ethan Johnson. As Ethan coming home there in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for the 11 machine, as we'll get ready to pull our third place finisher here. The number 23, Chase Barbara, coming home in that third spot. We'll pull Chase up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Chase, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Oh, yeah.
Chase, a great run, a great drive here in this one, but take us back through this race, man. We saw a lot of beating and banging, a lot of 3, 4, even 5 wide racing out there on the speedway. We saw a lot of contact and pile-ups and everyone just trying to figure out a way to get through some of the situations there. We saw a lot of different times where, you know, the leaders would come together and then the whole field would stack up, and we saw you right there in the middle of things just trying to figure out how to keep yourself out of trouble throughout this race and be there at the end. And once you finally got a little bit of clean track, a little bit of green flag laps, you're able to work yourself up and around, you know, the likes of Logan Rumsey and Dylan Hauser and Blake Majulis there late in this race, and almost close enough to put some moves on and try to steal second or first away from Johnson or New.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough race, honestly. I have to make this interview a little fast because I'm qualifying for this other race. But, you know, it was rough and, you know, a lot of wrecks. But I feel like we had pretty good pace even before we wrecked the first time. And, you know, we just had to crawl back up to third with a broke car. But, you know, I'll take it. I'd like to thank you for broadcasting all this, everybody at Alpha and everyone for helping me. And, you know, just thanks to everybody for watching and putting these races on for us.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we don't want to keep you too much or distracted from your other race. Good luck out there, and congratulations again with the third place run here this evening and the great run through all 3 of these races here at the 3 Days in Hell.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and good luck here in your next race.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our third place finisher, Chase Barbara. The commitment right there, just getting done. A huge money race coming home there in position number 3. He's already into another race, already running more laps, getting that seat time in and putting the work in there for the 23 ride of Chase Barbara with a great run there in position number 3. Now, I'm not 100% sure on what the official point standings will be, so we can't necessarily say who will be the champion or who won't be the champion here, so we can't make any definitive announcements, but once we know, we'll let you guys know. We'll put something up on the YouTube channel and the Twitch and Twitter and Facebook. We'll let you guys know who ended up being our champion here. I'm sure we'll get a flyer or something with maybe our top 5 or top 10 in the point standings here for the championship battle for those 3 races. I know Evan C came into the evening with the points lead as it's because officials are now. Yeah, it's because officials are now 100%, Luke. Yeah, definitely some officials getting ready to roll right now and drivers getting prepped for that one as yeah, I don't know. Evan C came in with the lead. He ended up finishing 20th. I think Hauser was in second, and he ended up finishing 5th. So I feel like Hauser may be in position to pick up that championship. Logan Rumsey was right there all 3 nights as well, and he was a spot behind Hauser. So I think that might get a little tight, but I think Hauser might be the champion here. But none of those points are finalized or anything else, so we'll have to wait and see what the officials call the 3 Days in Hell and see who is our actual points championship here for those 3 races. But we know who were our top 3 here this evening as Connor New picked up the win. Ethan Johnson came home in second, and Chase Barbara coming home there in position number 3. Blake Majulis and Dylan Hauser rounding out our top 5. But unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button if you're watching over on the YouTube channel, as we're going to be getting ready to go back live here in about 20 minutes or so from now. We got a second broadcast here on the evening to do, as we are going to get ready for the series opener here of the Monday Night All-Stars, the Dirt Clash Super Street Series Monday Night All-Stars Season 6, I do believe, or Season 7 getting underway here this evening. The Dirt Street Stocks will be up and ready to rock and roll here for their first race of the season, and it's going to be another great show, another great race, and hopefully I see everyone tuning in and cheering those guys on, as well as we'll get ready for our second broadcast here in just a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen. Wowzers, what a run, what a race, what a drive there by each and every one of these drivers.